Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Intel. It is time for an update, and on the long time frame we have been tracking this idea of a 1, 2, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and now we would be in a larger fifth wave to the upside to complete this overall structure. And in the previous video one of the followers actually asked me why I'm using the logarithmic chart, because on the linear chart this looks like the third wave is just starting now to the upside, and instead in here I'm tracking this as a fifth wave that is really developing in this area. And in the previous video I provided you the support zone here for such a wave 4, where we would be looking to have reached the 38.2% retracement level. Now that level of retracement is in fact the first level of support for a wave 2, and since we reached that, I could easily track this as a 1-2 setup. In fact, I could track this entire series of movements of higher highs and higher lows as a series of 1-2 setups, where this was just the initial 1-2 of the very large third wave to the upside. And then this really could develop into something very, very bullish and impulsive. But at the moment, it doesn't matter, because regardless of which structure it is that we are tracking here, either a 1-2 or a 3-4, we are tracking a 5-wave move to the upside momentarily. And if that develops into something very bullish that I could see as a very strong third wave to the upside, and then I get a fourth and a fifth, of course we can then adjust the count and track that structure, because the actual count that we would really track within this movement to the upside does not matter at all until we actually fulfill it. So as long as we are within this movement to the upside, it does not matter if it is a third wave to the upside or a fifth wave to the upside. I am tracking an impulse. And in that case, we can look here in the shorter time frame, where in the previous video I showed you this support zone, this idea of a 1-2 setup that has developed within this third wave or fifth wave, again doesn't matter, where we got basically to the bottom of the support zone, and now we actually had quite some nice push to the upside, where we already got above the support zone for a brief moment. And in this case, in the previous video I provided you a couple of interpretations how it could play out, where would be some first levels of invalidation, including the idea here that we have in the blue scenario that we were tracking an ABC structure to the upside that could turn out to be a larger wave 1. And we did hold at that point the support zone here for a wave 4 in the blue interpretation. And I can remove this white support zone, it's useless right now. But we did hold support here, and we even formed an initial, what looks very nicely like a 5-wave move to the upside, where we could have considered this as a series of 1-2 setups that has occurred, and we could have been looking for a third wave to the upside, where it really would have been just for a completion of this wave C, nothing too bullish at that point. But that could have been an initial wave 1 that would build into a larger 5-wave move to the upside that would allow us to look for a correction in a wave 2 for a very good probability entry for the long-term third wave to the upside. But since some bullish news came out and basically shifted the structure of the chart, we no longer need to track this interpretation, and I even had here a smaller wave 2 support zone for a 1-2 setup, but none of this really needed anymore, because right now we are tracking something a bit more different, where we are a bit ahead, we are advanced compared to what we were expecting within this structure. And in this case, I am now looking here at a wave 1 up instead of an A wave, and here a wave 2 down, and then here at a third wave to the upside. Now, in this case, I am still tracking a diagonal structure that is developing, but this is actually good, because now I don't need to be tracking an ABC within a wave 1 and then be looking for a low probability, low quality trade setup within a wave B, or sorry, within a wave 2 after a 3-wave move. And instead we are much further ahead, where we may even complete this third wave shortly, and then we could be looking for a wave 4 and the fifth, and once that is complete we have our larger 5-wave move to the upside, that would be a wave 1, and we could be looking for the correction here in the wave 2 much sooner than in the other interpretation. So this is all good news. And what else I wanted to mention is that the market has shifted to this structure. It wasn't that this structure was predetermined and it just appears to have unveiled at this point. The market does not work that way. It is a sea of emotions, basically, where it is fluid and the structures can distort, they can shift and transform into different interpretations that would work out. And at this point, we shifted from something a lot more bearish, like an ABC structure that we were building here, to something where we already have a 1, 2. It is in a diagonal structure that is not great regardless, but then we would have already nearly completed a third wave to the upside. So the probabilities of this working out have basically increased and basically moved forward or ahead the timeline where we were looking for our 5-wave structure to the upside. So in this case, I am tracking, as I mentioned, an ABC structure within this movement to the upside. Now we have a tiny issue in this area because a wave B could really be just a quick and sharp correction, could be a 3-wave move, and we could have completed it here. But a wave B could also be a triangle, so at this point it is not clear whether this wave B bottomed here, and now we are looking here at a series of 1, 2, 1, 2 setups that occurred, and then this would be the third wave, fourth wave, a fifth wave, and then we get another larger 4-5 pattern to complete this movement. Or if this wave B actually bottomed here and it developed in a triangle structure in an A, B, C, D, E, and then we would have 1, 2 in the wave C, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and now the fifth wave that would complete shortly and complete this wave C, completing this third wave to the upside, and then we would be looking for the larger correction within the wave 4. So that is an unknown element at the moment, and we will really need to invalidate the support zone that we will have to track once this movement is really complete within the this internal structure here. Once this is complete, we need to track if we find support for another wave 4 and the fifth, and if we do, we will of course notice it and know. And if we fail and we head into the larger correction in the wave 4, we will have to allow a much deeper retracement and then be on the lookout for the larger fifth wave to the upside. Now let's track internally this wave C, what we have at the moment, and within it I am still expecting a little bit more continuation to the upside within the wave 5, as I mentioned a moment ago. And within it I actually see two possibilities, because I could count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4th and a 5th, and that could be fine. But if I look within this internal structure, I could even say that we have a double 1, 2, 1, 2 setup here, and this entire move would be the third wave, a fourth wave down, and then we could get a fifth wave to complete this wave 3, and then another 4, 5 to complete this entire fifth wave. So let's track firstly this internal structure within the possible wave 3, where I would be looking for support here for a wave 4 in the area. Let's see and draw that right, because I think it overlapped and I didn't see the exact bottom here. But it is in the area between the $34.7 all the way down to the $33 level. Now we have reached the 38.2% retracement in this wave 4, and that is the ideal target for a wave 4. Technically, we could have even completed the correction and we could already be in the fifth wave to the upside. But in this case, I want to mention that a break below the $33 level is not a complete invalidation point for the continuation to the upside within this fifth wave. What I would be looking out for a high probability of invalidation, of breaking down from this structure and having basically a top already here in this third wave to the upside, would be instead for the idea that this is the actual wave 3 that has already developed. So we have here a 1, 2, 3, and we are looking for the deeper wave 4 that would allow support all the way down to the $32.6 level instead. So breaking this, now that would be a pretty good sign that we quite probably topped in this area, and we would be looking for a much deeper retracement, as it would be in the case of this larger correction in the wave 4. And yeah, now I can assume to still be looking here for the previous count, where I would still like a couple of more 4-5 patterns in this area. And what else I want to do is provide you the possibility or the support zone that I would be looking out for, assuming that we have actually already topped in this third wave. Now, it is not a guaranteed. I am still favoring continuation to the upside, but in case we already topped, I will provide here a support zone in yellow, which is between the $31 level. So this is the first level of support for this larger wave 4. It is for the count in blue, but I'm keeping it in yellow to be more visible. And then I am expecting it to find support before we break below the 61.8% retracement at the $24.3 level. And as long as that works out, I am still looking to complete this 4-5 pattern and have this entire 5-wave move still possible. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.